that was just the item. When he walked, his robes blowing dark against the sky, it was as though the unsubstantial waves held up his slender and inviolate feet. The gulls flew over, dropping, crying alone. Thin, ragged lengths of cloud drifted in bars across the sun. There, on the shore, the crowd's response was instantaneous. He handled it quite well, I thought. The gait, the tilt of the head, just right. Long streaks of light were blinding on the waves, but now I know our work well worth the time. The days of sawing and fitting all those nails, the tiresome rehearsals, considerations of execution. But if you want a miracle, you've got to work for it. Lay your plans carefully, keep one jump ahead of the crowd. To report a miracle is a pleasure unalloyed, but to stage one requires tact, imagination, a knack for the job not many possess. A miracle, in fact, means work. And now there are those who come and say that miracles were not what we were after. But what else is there? What other hope does life hold out but the miraculous? The skilled and patient execution, the teamwork, the pain and worry that every miracle involves. Visionaries tossing in their beds, haunted and racked by questions of messiahship and eschatology, are like the mists rising at nightfall and come, perhaps, to even less. Grave supernaturalists, devout worshippers, experience the ecstasy such that it is, but not our ecstasy. It was our making. Yet sometimes when the torrent of that time comes pouring back, I wonder at our courage and our enterprise. It was as though the world had been a darkening abandoned hall where rows of unlit candles stood, and we, not out of love so much, or hope, or even worship, but out of the fear of death, came with our lights and watched the candles one by one take fire, flame against the long night of our fear. I thought then we could live forever. Now I am less convinced. The traveler on the plain makes out the mountain in the distance. Then he loses sight. The trail winds across the valley. Then, at a sudden turning of the path, the peaks stand nakedly before him. They are something else than what he saw below. I think now of the raft, somehow for me, the summit of the whole experience and all the expectations of that day, but also of the caves where we stocked the bread, the secret meetings in the hills, the fake assassins hired for the last pursuit, the careful staging of the cures, the bribed officials, the angels' garments tailored faultlessly, the medicines administered behind the stone, that ultimate cloud, so perfect and so opportune. Who managed all that blood? I never knew. The days are long now. It was a long time ago. And I have come to the point in the turning of the path where the peaks are infinite, horn, scaly, and choked with thorns. But even here I know the work was worth the cost. What we have brought to pass, no one can take away. Life offers up no miracles, unfortunately. It needs assistance. Nothing is ever the same as once it was, I tell myself. It's dark here on the peak, and it keeps on getting darker. It seems I am experiencing a kind of ecstasy. Was it sunlight on the waves that day? Night comes down, and now the water seems remote and unreal, and perhaps it is.